This is the channel where we talk to the athletes in combat sports, we break down fights, and we talk about the controversial takes in combat sports. As always, I'm the founder, the owner, the CEO, and the host, Sophia Foyer. But welcome to the Combat Talk Podcast. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Combat Talk Podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Sophia. And before we get into our video, remember to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell so you never ever miss another episode, because we always got new exciting content coming your way. And for you guys that don't know, I also have my streaming channel, millions.co. I'm on there. It's Combat Talk Sophia. We got UFC watch parties. We got even more live interviews happening that you guys are missing out on. So go check that out. Go follow it. And also, too, we are on Spotify. Like I said, all the links are in the bio of the video. And also, too, I have to thank my sponsor, Hayabusa. I always love representing them in the training room when I'm competing. They got the best boxing gloves. They got the best MMA gloves, rash guards, gis. I love it. It makes me feel good when I train. And also, too, they got the best gear. So go try it out for yourself. Use code SOPHIA to save 10% on your next order. And my link and code is in the bio of the video if you guys need it. And without further ado, let's get into our video. Okay, so the reason why we're here today is we're talking about the Contender Series, right? We got week 3. Insane, people. We got an insane card. So the first fight that we're going to be talking about is Carlos Petruzella versus Nick Galanti at middleweight. We got MMA versus a striker / jiu-jitsu background. Now, Carlos, looking at my notes, has really good takedown defense. He's got tight submissions. He's a counter fighter. He's got good striking, very fast-paced striking. He's got a double leg takedown, which I like. Nick is a striker / jiu-jitsu. He's got an outside leg trip. He's got tight submissions as well. He's got flying knees. He's got good striking. He's also a counter fighter. Now, if I have to talk about striking wise who I would pick, I think I'm gonna have to lean towards more, honestly, probably Nick. If anything, I think, well, let me say this. Nick, I think, is a little bit more flashy with his striking versus Carlos. He goes more to the ground than anything. So if I gotta pick somebody for this fight to win, to get a contract for the UFC, let's think about this logically. Let's be smart. Okay? Let's pick Carlos Petruzella via KO in the first round. Let's have some fun. Let's make a pick that maybe can be exciting. And also, too, the Contender Series is always something that is exciting, giving you guys something to watch. And these people that go on here, they need to shoot their shot for Dana White, and they need to make a statement. So I think Carlos is going to get the job done. Hopefully he comes through. But our next fight, we got Ronald Humphrey versus Alexis Miranda at welterweight. Now, this fight is going to be interesting. Both of these guys have really good striking. However, Alexis, my one problem with Alexis is that he tends to have a low open guard. Now, what do I mean by a low open guard? A low open guard is basically you keep dropping your hands down a lot, you're leaving your face open, and you're not really defending, you're not really doing too much to kind of not save yourself, but you're not really throwing. You're not really having your hands up like you're supposed to. And that can cost the fight. That can cost a lot of damage. And honestly, that's where his downfall is. So Ronald's striking is really good. He's got a heavy jab. I mean, this dude's striking compared to Alexis is a lot better. Now, if I have to really be honest with you guys, I think I'm going to pick Ronald Humphrey just to be safe. I think I'm going to say TKO in the second round. We'll go with that. But next up, we got Gary Belletto versus Sean Clancy Jr. at welterweight. Clancy. Sorry, guys. Now, we got striker/jiu-jitsu versus MMA again. However, with Sean, I'm not seeing a little too much of the ground game from him, so I'm hoping that he's going to be able to defend the sacrifice throw from Gary, because he does tend to do that a lot. It's more of a suplex, but sacrifice throw in a way kind of thing. So he needs to be aware of that. He needs to be aware that it can go to the ground at any point. So hopefully he's going to be able to defend that. I hope so. But with Gary, his striking is somewhat decent. However, this is going to be the moment where we're really going to see if these guys really are wanting to go to the UFC and if they really need to be in the UFC. So this is the point where they need to sharpen up their skills and sharpen up everything in their game to make sure that everything is on point. And also, are these guys good enough to get into the UFC? So I'm going to pick Gary Belletto via decision. I'm going to say unanimous decision on this one. I haven't really said unanimous decision or any decision on the Contender Series predictions I've done. But I'm going to say unanimous decision on this one. But next up, we got Mario Piazon versus Urel at heavyweight. Now, I do like my heavyweight fights. Obviously, seeing some of the heavyweight fights that have been on the Contender Series. I mean, we saw Anthony win and the stuff that he was able to do. And he was my pick from the last episode. So hopefully he goes on to do amazing, wonderful things in the UFC. Hopefully. But for this fight, Mario's got really good takedown defense. He's got good head movement. He's got those little leg kicks. He's a counter fighter. But Urel, he's got decent takedown defense. He's got a little bit of striking. If I have to rely on the striking, who has better striking, it's going to be Mario, in my opinion. So I'm going to pick Mario via KO in the second round. We'll go with that. But our main event, a lot of people have been talking about this because of the name in this fight. We got Bellamir versus Alex Apodaca. This is going to be an insane fight. Alex Apodaca is going to be somewhat of a challenge for Bellamir. Is she really going to be? That's the thing. Bellamir's striking is decent. However, she's going to have to tighten up her striking. And honestly, I would take Alex down as quick as I could, because Alex doesn't really have that much of a good ground game, to be honest. She doesn't tend to do that a lot. So if I'm Bellamir, I'm going to hit her a couple times, shoot, take her down, and submit her. I do think Bellamir has decent striking. I think she's got good enough striking to hold her own against Alex. But if I'm Bellamir, I'm taking her ass down and I'm submitting her. I'm just going to say that. So I'm going to pick Bellamir versus... let's do Bellamir via submission in the first round. And this is a bantamweight fight for the women. This is going to be entertaining. This is going to be something that we need to see. And to finally get a female fight on the Contender Series, we're going to see something explosive. We're going to see something entertaining. We're going to see something maybe that we needed to see for a long time. And to have Bellamir finally on Dana White's radar, that should say something. So I think this fight's going to be very entertaining. I think it's going to be something that maybe we don't expect to see, and it's going to be fireworks. So let's hope for the best. So I'm going to pick Bellamir via first round submission. So let's go with that. Well, I gave you guys my picks and who I think is going to win these fights. Now, let's talk about the fighters that I think are going to be getting a contract. First off, Bellamir. I think hands down she's going to get a contract easily. I think Bellamir, Mario, Gary, and Ronald, and then Carlos. I think those guys are going to get a contract. But if I had to say who has like a slight chance of not getting a contract, honestly, I don't know. I honestly want to say maybe Gary, if he doesn't go up to his full potential, but I think a lot of these people are going to get their contracts. Hopefully all 5 of them do. So we're going to go with that. But let me know who you guys are picking, who you think is going to get a contract. You guys don't always have to agree with me. I try to tell you guys that. But for now, remember to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. And as always, I'm your host, Sophia. But for now, I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.